to my channel, and if you are new here, then welcome. I'm Catherine Boatberg. There are very few things more vulnerable than sharing groceries and what you eat on social media, because you are what you eat. But today, that's what we're gonna be doing. I'm going to be doing a grocery haul. We're gonna be meal prepping our groceries, and then I'm gonna take you throughout my week and show you how I turn these meal prepped ingredients into snacks, lunches, and dinners. So hopefully this gives you some motivation and it gives you some ideas on how you can meal prep. But this is something that has just honestly changed my life. I do not meal prep every week, but on the weeks when I do not meal prep and I don't meal plan and grocery shop and all that, we end up eating out a lot. Or we end up scrounging around the house and eating like terrible meals. So I'm super excited to be showing this to you guys because I just feel like I have such a great start on my week when I take the time to actually meal prep. It takes me like 5 minutes to throw dinner together and I'm not starving thinking of like, what should I eat? Anyways, this has totally changed my life. So I'm gonna show you the whole system from start to finish. This video is in collaboration with a woman I respect so much, Lynette Yoder. I think you guys are really going to love her YouTube channel if you do not follow her already. She is expecting her third child, which is a baby girl, and I'm so excited for her and her sweet family, and I just think you guys are gonna be so inspired. She is doing a grocery haul with some meal prep as well, so I will leave her video in the description down below. Don't forget to go check it out and tell her hi for me. I've explained meal planning in quite a few of my other videos, so I'm not going to go into depth here, but basically I do a few things when I meal plan. I write down a list of what is currently in my fridge, pantry, and freezer that needs to be used up that week. Then I brainstorm recipes around those ingredients, and I try to think of recipes that have similar main ingredients. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can look up the cookbook Cook Once, Eat All Week. It's an incredible cookbook and that shows you the method that I use. Today and this week I'm using all my own recipes, but it's using that method. So we're basing the majority of our food this week around 2 types of meats, 2 types of grains, and goat cheese, because I had goat cheese in my freezer that needed to be used up. Once I've brainstormed recipes, I go ahead and write down all the things that I'm doing this week. So I know, oh, Monday's a really busy day. I want a really easy meal that night. And then after I do that, the 4th step is writing out my grocery list. Now, I kind of cheat when it comes to groceries. I have 3 kiddos under the age of 3, and grocery shopping is a pretty stressful thing for me right now, and I don't love doing it. So what I have been doing is ClickList. You'll just have to check and see which one of your grocery stores has it. My Walmart has it, my Safeway has it, and ClickList allows you to just shop online. I pick out what ingredients I want, and then Walmart or Safeway bags all my ingredients and I just drive and pick it up. It also is so good on a budget because then you aren't like going through the store and thinking, oh, this sounds good, this looks good, this sounds good. The entire grocery haul that I'm gonna show you today cost me $76. And if I were to go into the store, I have not been able to get a week's worth of groceries under $140 in a really long time. If Walmart or Safeway or anyone who does ClickList is out of the item that you wanted, you can check a little box that says allow substitutions and they will swap it out for you. So for instance, well, I'll show you in this grocery haul, but I got a few substitutions that I wasn't really happy with, and some of these substitutes I wouldn't have taken because they were different enough from the original item that I wanted, but my husband picked up the groceries, so we're just gonna work with what we have this week. So I'm going to cut to me doing a grocery haul last night, and then I'm gonna take you through the process of meal planning and meal prepping on today, which is my Sunday. This is everything that I got from Walmart. It ended up coming up to about $76. One of the substitutes I'm not happy with are these strawberries, because strawberries are on the Dirty Dozen list, and so I love to get my strawberries organic. That's like really important to me. Elisha picked up my groceries, and he didn't know that, obviously. I was stoked he picked up my groceries, but I do wish that these were organic because that's what I ordered online, but I think we'll survive. Then I ordered 4 plums. I just like to keep some fresh fruit in like a little bowl here on the counter. I ordered a cantaloupe because we eat breakfast. I use this basically like as a breakfast melon every morning for the kids and I during the week. I got some of these grape tomatoes. Again, they're on the Dirty Dozen list. I use some of them for pizzas tonight, which I'll show you, and I'm gonna use the rest of these for a pasta salad. And then I got bananas. These are for smoothies and shakes. And Elisha loves to grab these as he goes out the door. The kids like to eat them for lunch. There's so many ways to eat bananas, right? I got these mini bell peppers for a pasta salad, and then the kids love to snack on them. Again, on the Dirty Dozen list. Let's try to get that organic. I got baby spinach for salad. I'm actually forgetting why I got this baby spinach. Oh, I think this is gonna go in the pasta too. And then this was another substitution I was kind of bummed out about. It's baby arugula and baby spinach when I just wanted arugula. Arugula has such a different taste than spinach, and I wanted it for a specific recipe. So I ended up just picking out the arugula for the pizzas tonight, and I'll just end up putting all this extra spinach in smoothies during the week. I got some romaine hearts, and these are for lettuce wraps during the week and for the pasta salad. And then I got a million limes. Like, that is a lot of limes, but I love using limes to cook and flavor things, so we're gonna go through probably half of these this week, and then we'll go through the other half next week. I got some fresh herbs. I really should grow an herb garden one of these days, but I love this mint, so tasty. That's gonna go in the lettuce wraps. You guys, that's like one of my favorite recipes ever. And then I got this basil, which is going in this like goat cheese pasta. It's gonna be so good. I can't wait to make it. And then I got a zucchini for the pasta salad. We just got a bag of cilantro here. You guys know this trick probably, but if you want to keep cilantro for a lot longer, by putting a paper towel in there with the spinach, it'll just kind of soak up the moisture and keep it from getting that like black yucky gunk. I also will do this if I start noticing the spinach turning. You could use it for the lettuce. It typically doesn't happen with romaine heart so much. Like the spring greens at Costco or stuff like that, it's just great to put a paper towel in there and it keeps them a lot longer. I got some green onions here for the lettuce wraps. We have a lot of fresh kind of flavorful seasonings for those lettuce wraps because they're really bright. Walmart doesn't have great pasta, so I just went with this straight up like pretty unhealthy pasta, but at this point I could care less. I was just in a rush to order these and I just went with what we had. If you have like a Safeway click list, they have way better pasta options with like chickpea pastas or lentil pastas or even just like a whole wheat or organic pasta. I got some tricolor quinoa. This was a great price for quinoa. I forget how much it was. I think it was like $4, but at Safeway, it's $7 a pound for tricolor quinoa, and this was like $4.50 or something. So I'm really happy with that. I got these little street tacos. Again, I prefer to go organic with anything that has to do with corn. So for instance, tortillas, but this will have to work for this week. I got some chili. I've never actually tried this chili before, so I'm gonna give you guys throughout this video like a recommendation if I think it's good or not. I'm trying to get a healthier chili. And then I got these fire roasted crushed tomatoes for that pasta I am making this week. So I got 2 cans of those, and again, tomatoes are part of the Dirty Dozen, so like to go organic with those. I just got some regular eggs here, 18 eggs, and some string cheese as a snack. I got some feta cheese for some vegan tacos I'm gonna be making, which is funny because I know vegans don't eat cheese, but I like to add this on top of them. So basically they aren't gonna be vegan anymore, but they're meatless. And then I got these chipotle peppers. So one thing I love about doing click list is like I have never bought chipotle peppers with adobo sauce before. And so the really cool thing is that I can just search for this in the search bar online and it will plop it in my cart instead of me going up and down aisles with fussy kids trying to find one unique item. I also actually used ClickList. I got these little dinosaur things this week, and I'm going to show you what snack I'm making with these for the kids. I'm going to make them some vitamin gummies, and I'll show you guys how to make those. They're so good for the immune system. So that is my grocery haul for this week. I'm going to have 3 lunches, 3 dinners, and some leftovers of those lunches and dinners to mix and match. And I'm going to show you what we meal prep, and the recipes I make out of these ingredients. Oops, so when I went to put my groceries away in the fridge, I realized I had left out the meat that I bought. So I like to get organic grass-fed beef. And I like actually all my meats to be really, really clean because so much gross stuff is put into meat. And this was a really hard switch because buying this meat's just more expensive, but I do notice the taste difference. And I'm hoping that as our family grows, I'll just be more and more used to the cost and we can buy like a quarter cow or a half cow or whatever we need to do to keep getting the grass-fed ground beef. This is a substitute I was bummed out with because I ordered bacon that was like nitrate free, didn't have any added hormones, was really clean, and instead this is what they gave me. So again, I grew up eating bacon like this. It's not gonna kill me, but this isn't like my go-to for bacon. I'm gonna use this for breakfast burritos this week, which is the lunch we like to have. That's the meat I got, but I'm not stoked with this brand. Okay, so let's dive right into meal prepping here. When I meal prep, I like to do the easiest, least complicated things first because that gets momentum going. And I also like to do things that take the most time because if I don't get to the other little things that I wish I had gotten around to, that's totally fine because the most time-consuming tasks will have been taken up. And that's the whole joy of meal prep because we want meals that are really, really fast to prep, right? So right now I just have water boiling on the back of the stove, and then I'm getting my bacon cooking in the oven. Bacon is something that I usually don't like cooking during the week because it smells up the whole house and it also takes a while to cook. I'm cooking the bacon on 350 and then I'm just putting some oil and some salt in the pan and cooking up all of the pasta. Again, this is just knocking out another step that takes about 20 minutes if I were to do this while I was making a meal. Then I'm gonna pour the quinoa in another pot. Some people rinse off their quinoa so it's not bitter, but I just do it straight like that. And then I'm not gonna cook my pasta till it's like soggy. I want it to be a little bit firm so when I reheat it, it just doesn't totally melt away. And I'm gonna pour that into a Pyrex container. I love my glass Pyrex and I will link them down below. It just makes meal planning so much more fun when you have so many cute, healthy containers to put your fresh and prepped ingredients in. So now we're gonna move on to my beef. I like to make sure that my meats, my grains, and my vegetables are prepped for the week. And then I love to make a treat or two, and I'm gonna show you what treats we're making today. Right now I'm just chopping up the cilantro for the lettuce wraps. At this point, I do a couple tablespoons, but I will link the exact recipes down below. So if you want exact amounts, I will link those for you and they will be on my blog. But I'm gonna just chop up cilantro and then I'm also going to mix the green onions with the cilantro because they're both going straight into the lettuce wraps. So I totally don't mind those flavors mixing. And then I'm gonna chop up the rest of these tomatoes. You're gonna see I already chopped up some of them and made mini pizzas for dinner last night when I got my groceries. This zucchini is for the pasta salad and you're just gonna wanna slice it real thin. And then I'm gonna also chop up a romaine head for the pasta salad as well as some red onion. I've told you guys this before, but I love to put my spices in a little container while my meat is browning. So we're gonna go ahead and flavor this meat for the lettuce wraps. I'm gonna do 1.5 tablespoons of brown sugar and 1 teaspoon of ginger. And I'm gonna combine those in a little container. Then once I drain my meat, I'm gonna do 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil and let's see here. I forget how much toasted sesame oil, so I will link that down below. Then we're just gonna add in the spices. You could use fresh ginger for this too, and that tastes so good. You could just mix it in with the meat. And then I'm gonna squeeze in all of my limes. This recipe also calls for 1 jalapeno. I didn't end up throwing the jalapeno in there because I wanted the kids to eat this meat. So aside from the bacon, something else that gets in the way of having a quickly made breakfast burrito are the potatoes. So I'm just gonna chop these up, season them with oil, garlic, salt, and put them in the oven at around 350 degrees and just bake these babies until they are all crispy. And now that we've prepped the big things, we are going to move on to our treats because we have enough time and energy. So you could totally make these little gummies with fruit juice, but that will spike children's blood sugar, and I don't like to spike my kids' blood sugar. So instead, I use this tray supplement. Young Living has one that's similar, but basically it's super powerful and great for kids' eye development, your brain development, their heart health. It's glycemically balanced so they don't get a spike, and it's basically a super powerful vitamin. So I will take a shot of this, but I love to make it into little gummies for the kids. There's some great healthy gelatins you could buy. I just had this one in my pantry, so I'm gonna use that. And it's so easy. All that you're gonna do is pour in about a quarter cup of this. If you don't have a supplement that is liquid like this, then you can go ahead and just use fruit juice. Just keep in mind that your kids will probably be hyper afterwards, but it's still better than straight up processed sugar. All you're gonna do is warm it up and then pour in the gelatin once it's warm. And then once that's all mixed, you're gonna pour it in the little gummy molds. And you're gonna set this in the fridge for about 1 to 2 hours, and then I will take out the little gummies and put them in a Pyrex container. Now moving on to my treat, I'm gonna go ahead and make a fat bomb. I love experimenting with different kind of fat bombs. And this one we're gonna make with peanut butter, coconut oil, and maple syrup. I'm just gonna do a quarter cup of peanut butter and mix that with a quarter cup of coconut oil and melt it in the microwave till it's just soft and liquidy. I love doing this with just coconut oil, carob, and honey. That's probably my favorite fat bomb ever, but I wanted to try mixing in some peanut butter, and then I just add a splash of vinegar, a tablespoon and a half of maple syrup, so these are really lightly sweetened, and some cocoa. And I just feel like this totally cuts my sugar cravings in the afternoon, but it's barely sweet, and it also is a great protein snack. You could use a silicone tray like the one I used for the tray gummies, or I just use an ice cream container, not an ice cream container, an ice cube container like this one. I love how the little green tabs pop out the ice cubes or pop out the fat bombs really easily. So I'm gonna try to find a similar one and link it on Amazon down below. You're just gonna keep these in the freezer and pop them out when you're looking for a tasty snack that does not have a ton of sugar or caffeine. And I obviously need to clean the top of my ice cube container because it's so gross. The meat has cooled down now, so I'm just gonna pour that into the Pyrex container, and I'm going to crumble the bacon. I forgot to show you guys these naan pizzas in the grocery haul because I had already put them in the fridge, but I'm gonna use naan pizzas. We're gonna use goat cheese. I forgot to buy mozzarella cheese, so we're gonna use cheese sticks because I'm all about being creative, and I'm going to pick out the baby arugula out of that spinach arugula mix, and here's some marinated artichokes that I already had in my fridge. This is one of my go-to quick dinners. So this is the night that I got the groceries. I didn't have a lot of time to plan or prepare, so I decided to just make something super, super simple. That's why it's so important to plan your week so that I don't plan like an ornate dinner that I needed to cook ahead of time on a night when I'm getting my groceries like 20 minutes before we want to eat. I cook these naan pizzas probably about every other week. They were actually a home chef recipe, and I just make them with my own ingredients now. This is probably the least cost-effective way to put mozzarella cheese on a pizza, but it totally works in a pinch. then I am going to take out some of these sliced pepperoncinis and pour in a little bit of artichoke liquid on this to kind of make a kind of dressing on the salad. And now we're gonna make the pizzas. You're gonna first put some crushed garlic on the naan. I didn't show myself doing that, but putting minced fresh garlic makes these just pop. And then you're gonna layer things as I'm showing you here. You wanna put the cheese on top and then crumble goat cheese on the very, very top. And put these in the oven at about 350 or 375 for like 10 minutes until the cheese is all crispy. This does not make me feel heavy like a regular pizza. It's so light and refreshing, and I love all the fresh flavors. I came across this pasta salad recipe when I was trying to get more fruits and vegetables into my diet in a really kind of comfort food way, and it's gonna actually be really healthy if you have a healthy pasta. So you're just gonna go ahead and get your zucchini cooking in oil and some salt, and then you're going to pour 1.5 tablespoons of oil on the pasta, 2 teaspoons of red wine vinegar, a teaspoon of oregano, and a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. And you're going to just mix that all around the pasta that you've already made. And make sure while you're doing this that you don't overcook the zucchini, because if the zucchini gets really squishy, they're gonna be kind of gross and mush around in the pasta. You want them to be pretty firm, but still cooked. You're gonna put some Kalamata olives on top of the lettuce with some salt and just mix that together so it kind of makes a dressing on the lettuce. I love how each one of these ingredients is seasoned separately. Then you're just gonna pour in the tomatoes, pour in some red onion, add the zucchini, and add the lettuce, and you are done. I pour Elisha's half back into that lettuce Pyrex container and sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on it because he likes that. And then I keep mine in the bowl and just put it back in the fridge for lunch. So the next couple recipes I'm going to show you guys are kind of like 5-minute dinners. So we're going to take this meat out of the fridge that we just seasoned, and then all I'm going to do is chop up some mint here and take the leaves off the lettuce. You can chop up the mint beforehand, but I just feel like it is so much more fresh when you chop it right before you put it in the meat. So now we're just gonna dump those chives and cilantro in. Again, I will link the exact recipes in the blog post for this. And then you dump in the mint and stir it all around, heat it all up, and put it in the lettuce shells. This is so tasty. It's so filling. I only used 1.5 pounds of beef, but honestly, Elisha and I can both eat through 3 pounds so easily. So starting with breakfast burritos, we're gonna go ahead and cook some eggs. I don't like how reheated eggs taste, so that's why I cook these beforehand. And this is still about 5 minutes to put together. You could also prep your cheese if you wanted to grate that ahead of time. I just didn't end up doing that the day of. So here's our potatoes, our bacon. Those are the 2 most important things to have prepped beforehand because otherwise you're looking at like 30 minutes out. And I love this ketchup from Primal Kitchen because it's not sweetened. I was gonna say it's not seasoned. And then you guys know how to bake a breakfast burrito. I actually didn't show me putting chili on this one because I forgot about the chili until the next one, but I do really love the taste of chili in a breakfast burrito. The
This is a really tasty gourmet dinner, and it took under 10 minutes to make. So you're just gonna dump in those tomatoes that I showed you and pour in 1.5 tablespoons of oil, put in some salt. I love Himalayan pink salt, and then put in 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. Then I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons here of garlic powder, and you're gonna put in 1 teaspoon of oregano, 2 cups of spinach, and about 8 whole basil leaves. And you're just gonna mix this all in and let it simmer for about 5 minutes, or maybe 10 minutes. While that's simmering, I just made a spinach salad. I sliced up some strawberries and put them on top of the spinach. I would love to add pecans or almonds if I had them on hand, but I didn't. And then I just mixed up a little balsamic oil, salt and vinegar, and brown sugar dressing to put on top of the salad. Now I'm going to break up about 4 ounces of plain goat cheese. This is what makes it really rich, and you're just going to stir that in and let it melt. Dump in the noodles and then serve it immediately. This was such a tasty dinner. It looks really gourmet, it tasted really gourmet, and it took just under 10 minutes to make and under 5 minutes to clean up. And that's why I really love meal prepping.
Thank you guys so much for watching this grocery haul and meal prep with me. I really hope that it gave you some good ideas that you're able to implement into your own life. I do not like cooking. I'm not naturally very domestic, but it blesses my husband so much. I really want to do the best I can to make it enjoyable for myself to serve my family. And I have found that because I'm kind of an obsessive personality, instead of trying to think about what to make every 3 hours, I love just thinking through and doing it all at one time. And then I can just obsess about other things the rest of the week and throw food together as I need to throw food together, but it doesn't take up any brain space. Don't forget to head over and check out Lynette's video. Give her a thumbs up for me. Let her know that I sent you and that I just think she is incredible. And I hope that between the two of us, you really got some inspiration and motivation for shopping and cooking for your own family. I will see you guys in my next video on Thursday. Bye.